really need is 6 to 8 seconds. Our rule of thumb is we tell people when you hit record on that camera, roll for 8 to 10 seconds because that's going to give you the handle of what you need. Chances are the first 2 and the last 2 seconds of any video clip are going to be a little bit shaky because that's when you're starting and stopping the camera. So we tell people you're going to use that middle part. So make sure that middle part's a good 5 to 6 seconds long to give yourself something to work with. And that's as simple as it is for the beginnings of capturing video. Stabilizers are very important. We do absolutely encourage the use of a stabilizer. The only thing, and a lot of what I hear from photographers is, well, you know, I'm a photographer, I'm running around with my camera in my hand, I'm not carrying a monopod with me. You don't necessarily have to keep it with you, but have it close by. So if you plan on doing video, have your assistant carry it, put a strap on it, put it on your shoulder. This way you can easily just transition between your handheld mode and your monopod mode. Anything that stabilizes the camera is definitely, well, I would say it's absolutely necessary.
Rule number 1.
Yeah, you cannot capture quality video handheld with these cameras. They shake really badly because there's just nothing that's grounding the camera to anything solid. So once you get over, or once you start using the camera on some sort of a stabilization device, you'll start to like your video clips because they're nice and steady.
Yeah, it's funny that, I mean, steadying the camera seems like such a no-brainer, but in terms of amateur video, the type of thing that I would shoot with a flip camera or with my own DSLR, I'm totally an amateur. The difference, one of the key differences is it's shaky and it looks horrible and you can't do anything with that video.
Right.
At least nothing that looks professional. All right, so steady the camera is key. Don't necessarily need long video clips. 6 to 8 seconds is plenty, probably most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Movement, you don't have to go crazy. What are some of the other keys that you guys would say in terms of, you know, starting to capture video?
I would say watch your focus. DSLR cameras have a great feature. There's literally a button on the camera, you press the magnifier and it zooms into your image and then you focus from there. So even if you're far away or you're shooting at a very, very fast aperture, you can zoom in, get your focus, and then go back to looking at your straight image, and that'll maintain your focus and make sure that things are in focus. There's a technique we use called pre-focusing, where we're not using these cameras to follow action. We're always either racking focus as somebody comes into focus and maintaining that focus, or we place the camera in such a way where there's a field that's in focus and we let the subjects move into that.
Like a bride walking down the aisle.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
She's only going to be in focus for maybe 5 or 6 steps, but that's all we need is 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because we know in our film, the life of a shot is 2 to 3 seconds.
Any cues or pointers in terms of moments that are especially great for video and others that maybe you don't need to worry about?
Things like the photo session, you direct that yourself, so you have the liberty to do whatever you like. So little shots that most people do, the bride and groom walking away or walking towards you, walking somewhere else. Think of that as movement, and you could easily get some movement along with some still shots.
Try it out, don't be afraid, because it's a little daunting at first, but once you get your first project under your belt, you'll build confidence, just like you did when you started your photography. Don't be afraid of the terminology. Don't be afraid to look at other people's work. Other people do great work out there, and it's good to be inspired by what you see. And definitely understand that this is still the ground floor. If you're getting into Fusion now, you're on the ground floor. In 5 years, 10 years, I can't imagine a photography studio not doing some sort of video. At this point, I wouldn't think that more than half of them are actually doing it. So if you get in now, you're going to be on the cutting edge, and I think that's where every photographer wants to be.
Yeah, and it's the type of thing that can separate your studio from other studios. It allows you to sell your products for a premium price. I imagine there are a number of other benefits as well.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you a lot more credibility. When a client comes in and sees you doing something totally different from any other photographer out there, they're going to remember you from the 10 other photographers they went to see that week. It's something that's really going to give you another step ahead of the competition.